music. Yep. Let's give the class of 2022 a big round of applause. Graduates, please take your seats. Good morning. Welcome to the USC Physician Assistant Program Class of 2022 Commencement Ceremony. My name is Mitzi Diaquella, and I am the Interim Program Director at the Keck School of Medicine of USC Division of Physician Assistant Studies. And on behalf of our faculty and staff, we want to welcome you as we honor the graduates of the Class of 2022. We are so pleased that so many family members, spouses, partners, and friends have joined us to honor our students. These graduates have spent the last 33 months preparing for a career as a physician assistant. This profession that they are about to enter is currently the fastest growing profession in the United States. Being a PA is ranked #1 as the best healthcare job in the 2021 U.S. News and World Report. Top media outlets like Forbes, USA Today, and Money continually name being a PA as one of the most promising jobs in America. How exciting that these graduates are also completing the program that is #10 in the nation and #1 in California. Graduates, we choose to celebrate your success today, and we know that you are ready to go out and make a difference in the lives of your patients and in the communities. We know that you are prepared to become nationally certified PAs and find success in healing others. More than ever these days, this is truly something to celebrate, as the world needs you and others like you to love more, serve more, and heal those around you. In fact, the next 10 years should provide you with several opportunities for your job outlook as we prepare for an increasing number of patients that will be needing care from our healthcare team. In addition to your knowledge, your experience, and your dedication, it is this willingness to be open to new opportunities and the new ways of providing healthcare services that will be essential to your future career. You are already trained to practice in this way. You are preparing to join an outpatient practice, to work in a hospital, scrub into a surgical suite, or deliver care in the emergency department. However, this group has been responsible for so much healthcare already. As part of your education and from your beloved exact entries, all of you graduating today have together helped provide healthcare to 112,962 patients, which included nearly 14,000 emergency room cases, about 9,000 surgeries, and 7,000 prenatal cases. Such wonderful contributions. And now, as you are ready to graduate, you are ready to do so much more. So I would like to tell you a little bit more about the class of 2022. They have had their share of events, 7 engagements, 4 weddings, 3 pregnancies. They have celebrated births, have overcome illness, and have had loss of loved ones. Aside from their rigorous studies, these students have been involved in the Skid Row Carnival of Love and the White Coats for Black Lives rallies. They administered COVID vaccines at Keck Medicine. They participated in the student-run clinic, health fairs, virtual advocacy platforms, all while facing the challenges of being a learner during COVID. At this time, I would like to recognize the students that have received scholarships while in our program. I will ask the graduates to please stand and be recognized once you hear your scholarship category. We have 2 students that are the USC Town and Gown Scholars, 1 student that's a National Health Service Corps Scholarship recipient, 1 Gates Millennial Scholar, 1 National Hispanic Health Foundation Scholar, 1 Latino Alumni Scholar, 1 Kappa Ruth Webb Scholar, 2 Renee Fabrizi Scholar winners, 1 Health Professions Education Advanced Practice Healthcare Scholar, 1 National Medical Fellowship Scholar, 1 Inglestead Scholarship recipient, 1 Schoen Scholarship recipient, and we had 20 recipients of the SDS Scholarship and 10 recipients of the inaugural Keck Scholar Awards. Let's give everyone a round of applause. Congratulations. At this time, I would like to recognize those students that have served in a leadership position representing the class of 2022. I will ask each graduate to stand and be recognized. If you were a class officer, a PA Student Society officer, an AOR representative, a Kappa representative, graduate student government senators, or served in a leadership role with Pipeline, Pre-PA Pathways, or our Trojan Trainer program. Congratulations. As we all know, it is the support of family and friends that is crucial to the individual success of these graduates. Successful completion of this graduate program is a challenging task and one that is not completed without significant sacrifice. Their sacrifice is made easier by the love and support of family and friends. I would like to ask parents, siblings, partners, spouses, and significant others to please stand and be recognized for your unending love and support throughout this journey. I would also like to acknowledge our honored guests today who are here to participate in recognition of our graduates. I will ask each guest to stand and be recognized as I read their name. Dr. Carolyn Meltzer, Dean of the Keck School of Medicine of USC. And Dr. Janai Robinson, Chair of the Department of Family Medicine and Associate Dean for Primary Care. I have also witnessed the outstanding contributions of the faculty and staff of this program, which have contributed to the success of these graduates. I would like to ask all faculty and staff, our entire team, to please stand and be recognized. Please join me in thanking our team. Thank you. At this time, I would like to formally introduce Dr. Carolyn Meltzer, our Dean at the Keck School of Medicine of USC. Dr. Carolyn Meltzer began her appointment as Dean of the Keck School of Medicine of USC in the John and May Hoovel Dean's Chair in Medicine in March 1, 2022. Dr. Meltzer was recruited from Emory University, where for the past 15 years, she served as the William P. Timmy Professor and Chair in the Department of Radiology and Imaging Services. At the Emory School of Medicine, she also served as the Executive Associate Dean of Faculty Academic Achievement, Advancement, Leadership, and Inclusion, and as Chief Diversity and Inclusion Officer. Dr. Meltzer is an expert in neuroradiology and nuclear medicine and has conducted research to understand the brain's structure and function during normal aging, Alzheimer's disease, dementia, and psychiatric disorders in later life. Please join me in welcoming Dean Meltzer to the podium.
Good morning. All right. Members of the class of 2022, congratulations on this tremendous achievement today. You made it. You crossed the finish line, and you did so during an incredibly challenging time in healthcare and medicine. I've only been at USC for a couple of months, but I've learned a lot already about this class. The pandemic hit in your second semester, just as you were getting into the swing of things. Despite these challenges, you demonstrated deep resilience, adapting to the changes in your program. You embraced the shift to online training, and in the process, you transformed student-run initiatives like the USC PA pipeline program. Most of all, you embrace the values of the Keck School: service, diversity, equity, inclusivity, leadership, and excellence in education. For all of these qualities and for all that you have accomplished, we are grateful. In my nearly 30 years now as a physician scientist, I've seen firsthand how important PAs are to clinical practice and had the opportunity to work closely with so many. You're the glue that binds us together, connecting patients, physicians, nurses, technologists, front desk staff, and many others. You're essential to the work. You are tomorrow's leaders in healthcare. Actually, you're today's leaders. The urgency is now. The needs are all around us. As the Dalai Lama once said, and I quote, there are only 2 days in the year that nothing can be done. One is called yesterday, and the other is called tomorrow. Today is the right day to love, believe, do, and mostly live. Graduates, you are poised for a future that is starting right now. You have an incredible opportunity to make a difference in our world. I know I speak on behalf of all of us at the Keck School when I say that we could not be prouder of you. And I can't wait to follow your journey in the days and years to come. I want to thank all of our community faculty here today, as well as our amazing PA faculty and staff, and a very special thanks to the families here today who stood by our graduates and who made sacrifices of their own. Congratulations to all. Today is the day to celebrate.
Thank you, Dr. Meltzer. At this time, I would like to formally introduce Dr. Janai Robinson. Dr. Robinson is a professor and chair of the Department of Family Medicine at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. She also serves as Associate Dean for Primary Care and is president of the USC Care Medical Group, a multi-special group representing over 800 faculty clinicians practicing at Keck Medicine of USC. Prior to coming to USC, she served as Chief Medical Officer for the Saban Free Clinic, also known as the Los Angeles Free Clinic, and taught in the Harbor UCLA Transforming Primary Care Faculty Development Fellowship. Dr. Robinson has expertise in leadership development, care delivery redesign, and care for the underserved. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Robinson to the podium.
To our students, families and friends, our faculty and staff, and our honored guests, I bring you greetings from the Department of Family Medicine at the Keck School of Medicine at USC. We are proud to be the home of the USC Primary Care Physician Assistant Program. In family medicine, our vision is that we are leaders in health and social justice for all. The specialty of family medicine is a holistic one that cares for everyone from baby to grandma, with an emphasis on continuity and community. We are proud to provide longitudinal care for people over the course of their lives in the context of their families and communities. Team-based care requires excellent physician assistants, and I know you have been well trained by our outstanding program. And because of the pandemic, you have also learned the lessons of flexibility, grace, resiliency, and courage in the face of uncertainty. You are certainly ready to take on any challenge, but how you take on those challenges is equally important. Remember that medicine is a commitment to lifelong learning. It's okay not to have all the answers yourself. It's okay to ask for help. It's important to build a team around you that can help you care for the patients and families you serve. And it's important to lead with kindness, grace, humor when appropriate, and to work hard and never give up on your patients, your team, or yourself. To our graduates, the class of 2022, I say congratulations. You have survived and thrived despite the rigors of PA school, a national pandemic, and unprecedented changes in healthcare and education over the last 3 years. I hope that in addition to learning how to be an excellent physician assistant, that you will also embrace the lessons of flexibility, responding with grace and kindness in times of challenge, and the importance of staying grounded in gratitude, even when things aren't going exactly as you expected. This is rightly a time of excitement and celebration and moving forward to take on the next challenge or opportunity. But I hope today you will pause to say thank you to your families, to your classmates, to the team of faculty and staff who have supported and pushed you over the last 3 years. And I want to take a moment to acknowledge our outstanding faculty and staff and to thank our former program director, Kevin Lohenry, and our interim program director, Mitzi Diakila, for their steadfast leadership and commitment. I have witnessed their unwavering commitment to your education, your well-being, and your progress forward, despite persistent change and challenge. They have built a team of faculty and staff who continues to rise to meet the challenge with teamwork, innovation, and love. So to our team of faculty and staff, let's give one more round of applause. And to the class of 2022, I say congratulations and best wishes.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. One of the hallmarks of our program is the focus on interprofessional, team-based education and practice. and one aspect of that is our interprofessional geriatric curriculum program. Students participated in the care of older adults with teams of students from medicine, physical therapy, occupational therapy, social work, psychiatry, and pharmacy as part of a voluntary extracurricular activity. They were aided by the mentorship of Dr. Freddie Segal-Gadan. I would like to invite Dr. Segal-Gadan to come up and present the certificates of recognition to the students. I'm going to ask the students from this group to come to stage when your name is called. Alexandra Abreu. And you can stay on stage, Alexandra. Heidi Amundsen. Elaine Baul Heifel. Maisie Huang. Emily Lara. And Jocelyn Ochoa. Let's all give them a round of applause. Okay, thank you, ladies. You can take your seats. At this time, I would like to introduce Miss Crystal Renee DeCoutray. Miss Renee DeCoutray graduated from the USC PA program in 2011 and has worked for several practices in cardiothoracic and vascular surgery. During her time at USC, she served as class president and started the USC Physician Assistant Student Society. For her demonstrated leadership and service, Miss Renee DeCoutray was inducted into the Pi Alpha Society, Honor Society in 2011 and currently serves as a president for this society. She continues to be involved at the PA program as a guest lecturer and clinical preceptor. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Crystal Renee DeCoutray to the podium.
Good morning. Good to see you all. Pi Alpha, the National PA Honor Society, is the official honor society for the physician assistant profession. The motto of Pi Alpha is scholarship, service, and leadership. Thus, membership signifies inductees' significant academic achievements and honors them for their leadership, research, community and professional service, and other related activities. The society encourages a high standard of character and conduct among students and graduates. Membership implies a lifelong commitment to learning applied to benefit others. Today, we will honor our inductees for the class of 2022. Student membership in Pi Alpha is an honor bestowed upon a graduating student in recognition of not only scholastic achievement with a GPA of 3.5 or higher, but also demonstrated excellence in research, publishing, community and professional service, and leadership activities. As I call your name, please come and join me on the stage to receive your certificate of membership, official Pi Alpha pin, and honors cords. This year's inductees include Heidi Amundsen, Brittany Campos, Anna Darren, Emmeline Maritzen. Congratulations. Thank you. Jocelyn Ochoa. And Robbie Robinson. Congratulations. All right, we'll take a picture. Thanks, you guys. Congratulations, and may you continue to model the high ideals of lifelong learning and participation in intellectual life to benefit others that your induction into Pi Alpha signifies. The Pi Alpha Awards also allows for faculty membership and induction. This year, we are honoring Mr. Daryl Mayo. All right, you can see why we inducted him. As a graduate of the USC PA program and current clinical assistant professor at the program, Mr. Mayo has been dedicated to furthering the education of our future PAs. Not only has he provided educational advancements for students, but he has been a mentor and leader to help support them during the challenges of school and life, and he has created such a positive impact for our students. Prior to his faculty appointment at USC, Mr. Mayo practiced primary care medicine at USC University Student Health Center, where he began mentoring students and served as an advisory board member for Somerville Place, a special interest forum designed to lend academic, emotional, and healthcare support for transitioning African American USC freshman students. Mr. Mayo has continued to actively recruit minority students to the USC Pipeline program through the Song Brown Grant. In addition, a large part of his efforts has been in the way of clinical site development for student clerkships and serving as a co-course director of the Clinical Skills 2 course. Mr. Mayo is such an inspiration, and he has such a positive outlook and true love for teaching and enhancing the knowledge and overall well-being of our students. It is for all of these reasons and more that we are honored to welcome Mr. Daryl Mayo as a faculty inductee into the Pi Alpha Honor Society. To the entire class of 2022, not even a pandemic could hold you back from achieving your goals. Carry that resiliency with you and apply it to your future goals. As a guest lecturer for the program, I am amazed by your growth as students, and I am confident that you all have the skill set needed to be phenomenal PAs. Today, I'm honored to call you all my colleagues. I'm getting emotional. I love you guys. Approach each patient with a 360-degree view. Treat their disease, foster their mental health and well-being, lend a listening ear, be a shoulder to cry on, and go above and beyond to provide the best care possible. Congratulations to all inductees of the Pi Alpha Honor Society, and congratulations to the entire class of 2022. Up to 15% of your class can be inducted into the Pi Alpha Honor Society in the future, so you are still able to be nominated as an alumni. I hope you will all continue to strive for excellence to not only become compassionate, knowledgeable PAs, but to continue to make a difference in your community through service and leadership. Fight on.
At this time, I would like to introduce our keynote speaker, Dr. Kevin Lohenry. Dr. Lohenry joined the University of Arizona Health Sciences as clinical professor of medicine and assistant vice president for interprofessional education in 2022. He is the founding director of the University of Arizona Physician Assistant Program. Prior to joining the University of Arizona, Dr. Lohenry spent a decade at the Keck School of Medicine, where he served as Associate Dean for Graduate Student Affairs and Program Director of our Primary Care Physician Assistant Program. Dr. Lohenry is past president for the Physician Assistant Education Association and former director at large for the National Commission on Certification of Physician Assistants. He is a veteran of the United States Navy, and he served on the Joining Forces Committee for Michelle Obama, focusing on issues related to military families. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Lohenry to the podium.
I guess y'all didn't get the memo because it's hot in Arizona and it's supposed to be cool here. Good morning. My name is Kevin Lohenry. My pronouns are he and his, and I would like to acknowledge our presence on the traditional, ancestral, and unceded territory of the Gabrielino Tongva peoples. We recognize that these peoples were forcibly removed from their homelands. We take this opportunity to acknowledge the generations that have gone before, as well as the present-day Gabrielino Tongva people. With humility, we recognize and respect all indigenous peoples, their histories, and their ties to this land. Thank you. It is so good to see your smiling faces again, and to be back with my colleagues once again, both out there in the audience and the ones up on stage with me. And first, I want to thank Ms. Diaquila for her very kind invitation to be here today with you for this momentous occasion. I also want to acknowledge your new dean, Dr. Carolyn Meltzer, who joined USC this past spring. I have met several of her former Emory colleagues at the University of Arizona who have shared what a wonderful leader she is, and I wish you the very best in your new adventure here at USC. I know your passion for diversity, equity, and inclusion comes at a critically important time for this institution and our world. I also want to acknowledge my friends and colleagues who I've had the privilege to serve with for the past 11 years. This includes those on campus, those who work behind the scenes as preceptors, facilitators, coaches, and confidants. Your extraordinary work and passion for the life have left a lifelong impression on me that I will never forget. And I swear I'm not going to lose it, but I'm going to take a break. You are the essence of this program, as are the graduates who have gone before you, and you, the graduates from the class of 2022. You are what has made this program a top 10 program in this world, and I just am so proud to have been part of that for the last 11 years. So thank you all very much. As many of you know, one of the main drivers for this change, because frankly, I loved my job every day that I was here. And that is a gift that is hard to find these days. But one of the main drivers was to be closer to family. My wife, Dana, who is with us today, has been a rock in allowing me on this journey at USC. But the time has come to give her and our family my full presence in Arizona. I am reminded about the many lessons in life I have learned from my parents and mentors, and one of the most important ones is that we have to keep growing. And growth comes from stepping out of your comfort zone and purposely seeking discomfort. We need to stretch ourselves from time to time in order to get to a new place. Class of 2022, you are all about that. You are about to leave the comfort of your Trojan PA family And you stepped out of your comfort zone pretty quickly in your education to experience the pandemic and life behind the camera with Zoom. And that has prepared you in a way for your future that very few classes will ever have had in their experience. And I think that's going to provide you with the word that Dr. Meltzer used earlier, resilience. You are going to have a level of resilience that very few have, and that's going to carry you a long way for you and your families in your life. You stood in when Keck Medicine needed students to administer the new COVID immunizations over the winter break in 2020. I remember that day really well because the immunizations had just rolled out right on the last day of your final exams. And yet, many of you who were in town volunteered your holiday time to start serving the community and to give people the chance to survive this pandemic. You joined the Trojan Trainer Program to support street medicine for our neighbors who are unhoused in the streets of Los Angeles. And you shifted, obviously, to an online environment, not only for your education, but also to continue the very important pipeline programs that we've always taken pride in having at this program. So jumping into your discomfort has been a strong habit for this class from the very get-go. Today I have 4 rules to share with you that I'm rather confident has been told to you before, but it's mostly likely been shared to you by the people behind you, your loved ones, or somebody that's important to you in your life. But sometimes it just helps us to hear these things again for it to sink in. Rule number 1, we must fill up our tanks before we head out on our daily journey. My wife and I recently purchased a large recreational vehicle. It's the first one. We've always been tent campers, but you know I'm getting older and air conditioning does have a nice ring to it when you're camping in the desert. And my wife said to me as we're driving towards the place to pick up the recreational vehicle, shouldn't we fill up the gas tank? And I said, honey, there's 3/4 of a tank there. We're fine. No problem. And we loaded up that huge 29-foot RV behind our Tahoe and began to drive back to Tucson on one of the windiest days in Arizona this year. And sure enough, about halfway through, we had to stop and get gas because my tank wasn't full. I had not heeded the great advice of my beautiful bride. Instead, I confidently said we'd be fine, and we weren't. It's a valuable life lesson for us because, number one, we need to listen to our loved ones. Nobody knows us better than our loved ones, and they see the true selves that we bring each day. And if they're telling us that our wellness is not well and that we need to fill up our tanks, we need to listen. They're very bright, and they're also unafraid to tell us what we need to hear. And so that's a really important lesson. And as healthcare providers, if your tanks aren't full when you leave the door of your apartment or house and head to your clinic, your patients will not get your very best. And I know all of you, when you interviewed, promised me that you wanted to give your very best to every patient you ever saw. So we must fill up our tanks before we head out on our daily journey. Number 2, we must embrace discomfort. Now, I already alluded to this, but the truth is, even at the age of 56 in 1 week, I can say with certainty that my greatest growth periods in life have been when I am most uncomfortable. The anxiety that comes with unfamiliarity, with confusion or chaos, forces us to focus in harder on what our goals really are and what really matters to us. It keeps us from being too distracted by the environment and helps us grow by paying attention to the main things in life. The key is to focus in on what you're doing in that moment and time. A Zen proverb goes like this: when walking, walk. When eating, eat. It seems so simple, yet we all struggle at times with distractions and the anxiety that comes with them. Your coming weeks are going to be filled with plenty of anxiety as you prepare for the national certification exam that you will all pass. And so keep in mind, yes, keep in mind, when walking, walk. When eating, eat. When studying, study. But focus on your wellness and embrace that discomfort. It'll make you stronger. Rule number 3, one of the most important ones in life: seek diverse perspectives. We need to embrace diversity. We should all seek diversity to surround us because all of us are better with diversity than we are without. You, my friends, have had the opportunity to experience that firsthand in this program. And I'm so proud of this team and this school and this program for taking that so seriously. We are leading the world in how to do this right. And now you, as future healthcare leaders, have the chance to go out and continue to champion diversity, champion inclusivity, champion equity in every place that you go, so that the world will be a better place, and so that we can solve the more complex problems that our world faces, because too often we choose not to seek diversity, we choose to avoid it, and that is the wrong decision in life. Stand up and speak up for those who suffer among us due to ignorance, hatred, racism, and selfishness. You have and you will continue to make a difference in this world with your passion for others. Finally, rule number 4, remember why you chose this path. You chose to become PAs. At some point in time in the last probably 4 to 8 years, you made a decision and a light went off in your head to go down this crazy pathway. And I grant you that nobody told you the pandemic was coming. Maybe you would have stayed in marketing if you had known. But you didn't, and you chose this path. And you chose a path to be part of a health care team. The word care is in the term for what we do. Our healthcare system is struggling in many ways, but you can bring a fresh perspective and a renewed energy and a passion for others that honestly can be infectious in a good way. You can be the change agents who demand better for your patients, for your communities, and for our world. Many are suffering every day from a system that has not been as person-centered as it could be. But that doesn't mean we have to keep the status quo. In fact, your knowledge, behaviors, and attitudes can go a long way to helping those patients navigate the system. And you, my colleagues, have been trauma-informed. You know the impact of trauma on our patients and on the people in our community better than any PA class I've ever seen. And so I know that you will take that trauma-informed perspective and use that as a magic thing that can make the world a better place. Remember those around us who are suffering. This includes your healthcare teammates who have lived through the most intensive time in recent medical history. They stepped up and answered the call of society to serve in this pandemic, with some sacrificing everything to care for their patients and their communities. Your presence can be healing for many, and the extra hands you bring to the healthcare system will help others take a breath. Cherish the opportunity to serve them with love so they too can heal. In closing, I want to share a point from Dr. Sean Ginwright's book called The 4 Pivots. In it, he talks about the difference between kinship and belonging. He says kinship is essentially the deep sense of feeling connected to a history, a people, a place to which you belong. But it is a bond and a binding relationship that occurs typically without consent. Rarely do we get a chance to have a say in who our brothers and sisters are. Ginwright says that belonging requires an agreement among groups to form meaningful connections and purposeful membership. It provides us with an identity, a sense of purpose, a sense of meaning and connection. For many in our world, belonging has not been a predominant emotion. Many have felt like imposters, posing as people with an identity that perhaps doesn't fit. When we have belonging, we also have safety, we have connectedness, we can be vulnerable, and we're better listeners. The beauty of sharing what we have all experienced together in the past 3 years of this pandemic is that we can have that sense of belonging with each other. We can be vulnerable with each other. We can feel safe with each other. And that is a gift that we'll keep on giving for the rest of our time on earth. But like all relationships, we must nurture that relationship. And don't forget to reach out to one another to keep that sense of belonging among your Trojan PA family. The past 3 years was an incredibly difficult time to be a PA student, but you stepped into the storm with compassion, rose above your fears to get to this stage today. And that is a lifelong lesson in resilience that will benefit you forever. There's no doubt, as my colleagues have already said, you have what it takes to belong in this profession, and you belong to the Trojan PA family. Yes. And when you struggle, there is no doubt that the Trojan family will always have your back. Reach out and let us lift you up so that you can lift up your patients and others in your communities. Congratulations, and fight on.
Thank you, Dr. Lowe-Henry. Our next speaker is Miss Corinne Feldman. She was chosen by the class of 2022 to be their inspirational speaker. Ms. Feldman is a clinical assistant professor of family medicine in the USC Primary Care Physician Assistant Program, a graduate of Midwestern University, class of 2005. She has practiced medicine in the areas of trauma, HIV, and geriatrics. Her passion is providing quality primary care for people experiencing unsheltered homelessness, which has been the cornerstone of her career since 2007. She has contributed to the development of shelter and street-based care in the Lehigh Valley in Pennsylvania and Los Angeles, and currently sees patients experiencing unsheltered homelessness with KSOM of USC Street Medicine. In the PA program, she has worked to develop curriculum around health equity and social justice and is the director of the Street Medicine rotation for the Keck Family Medicine residency. She also serves as an advisor to the International Street Medicine Institute Student Coalition. Please join me in welcoming Ms. Feldman to the podium.
As Ms. Coxby would say, let me get my life together before we get started here. And you know only one piece of paper if she's in charge. Good morning, colleagues. No more future colleagues. You have arrived. I am so honored to share just a few more words on such a special occasion. But when I realized I only had about 4.5 minutes to impart just a little more but non-testable material, amen for that, I had a flood of ideas. Should I talk about the challenges of defining success with various measuring sticks and milestones, only to realize that those often fail to create joy in our life? Or to find your true north, the things that make your heart go pitter-patter, in the words of Mrs. Ramos, and to stick to it? Or to soak in the awe that is associated with the fact that this graduating class will perform 10.6 million patient care visits in the spirit of primary health care? Or to realize that sometimes goals and strategic plans are merely iterations of something that you or someone else has already done, and we're just trying to do it bigger and better, and thereby stifling the true disruptive innovation that change that our world so desperately needs. But instead, we're going to talk about Bruno. Oh, but we do talk about Bruno today. Now, I realize that the Disney movie Encanto specifically and melodically says we don't talk about Bruno. No, no, no. Okay? But on this day, I assure you, we need to talk about Bruno. And if you have not seen the movie, earmuffs, okay? Because spoiler alert. Can I talk? Oh my, we really did lose it. Okay, hopefully, oh, we're back. I may not be silenced. Okay. Okay. In the movie, for real, Bruno is an outcasted member of the family Marigold. He had a gift of seeing the future, which was often something that people did not want to hear. And when Bruno left the family home, it was assumed that he was out in the world, wreaking havoc with all that he saw and all that he said. But in reality, Bruno had never actually left home. He was living in between the walls that separate the dining room from the kitchen, listening to all that was happening, even taking his meals in concert with his family with just a smidge of light that came through the cracks in the dining room wall so he could feel connected, part of something. In the movie, Bruno becomes somewhat of a scapegoat, villainized, blamed, and stereotyped. Defenseless, in part because of his chosen invisibility, the family furthered the likelihood of reunion because of their witnessed actions and words. And over time, Bruno begins to believe what is said about him. In the healthcare world, we have many Brunos, many types of people that we have uninvited from this journey of health, both directly and indirectly. Many people who are missing from our waiting rooms, from our communities, and from the collective fabric of health in our country. And it isn't because they aren't sick, and it isn't because they don't want to be healthy. When I graduated from PA school 17 years ago with Dr. Lowe Henry as my teacher, I decided that my guiding principle would be that I would be open to seeing any type of patient in any setting so long as they needed my help. This journey carried me to trauma bays, intensive care units, operating rooms, STD clinics, health bureaus, outpatient HIV practice, nursing home care, homeless shelters, and of course, the street. This kaleidoscope of patient teachers all shared a similar story. They often felt unwelcome, unloved, invisible, or perhaps at best tolerated but not accepted. Roxane Gay, author of such books like Bad Feminist, Writing into the Wound, and Hunger, talks about rejecting the concept of unknowables, the idea that there really shouldn't be people in this world that are untouchable, unknowable, or unable to be understood. And that in those moments when we don't understand, we have to expand our imaginations and seek out a new perspective. In healthcare, this really is the only way to have true, inclusive, and equitable care that is rooted in solutions of action and not of apathy. And so on a day like today, when a bolus of new life comes bursting into the veins of offices and hospitals and perhaps the street, okay, in the form of new graduates, we feel invigorated. Just as a fluid bolus corrects orthostatic hypotension in a patient who is dehydrated, it's not testable, and a little puny, you bring the rest of healthcare a new jolt of life. So never be ashamed of the new grad label. You represent a new wave of hope for me, for us, and for Bruno. I leave you with the words of one of my favorite slam poetry artists, Rashad the Poet, from his piece called Elevate. Without you, many folks would be in the wild, wild west of healthcare. But you are the light, the spark, the exclamation mark, the point of it all, doing what you love, lending more than a helping hand. You are the phone a friend, the one on which they can depend. Your passion for their well-being is where the real love begins. So keep elevating that kind of love. Fight on.
Thank you, Ms. Feldman. Now I would like to welcome class of 2022 graduate student Doug Goodgen. He was chosen by his classmates to be the commencement class speaker this year. Please join me in welcoming Doug to the podium.
I'm a little more nervous than I expected. I wish I kind of took a beta blocker. Whew. All right, so good morning, fellow graduates, faculty, staff, Dean Meltzer, Dr. Robertson, special guests, family, friends, the infamous Heather. Faculty's looking at who do you look at? I'm tremendously honored to be chosen as class speaker for this fantastic class of 2022. As I thought about what to say today, I wanted to start with a reflection of our journey for the last 3 years. 3 years ago, we showed up, the 58 of us. On day one of orientation, we were clueless, terrified of what the future held, and completely unsure of our ability. And now look at us. We're 3 years older. Throughout our time here at USC, we collectively shared many experiences, but I would be remiss to say that their individual journeys have been equal. Some of us had incredible positive milestones during school, a child born or two, engagements, marriages, and even the purchasing of homes. Others faced significant tragedies and adversity, severe illness or death of loved ones, difficult relationships, financial hardships, and mental health challenges. And of course, the pandemic brought on a new set of challenges to our experience, not to mention the social unrest that erupted during our summer break that was expected to be spent having Mai Tais in Hawaii or gelato in Italy. So what did we do as a class? We adapted and we marched on. We mastered the skills of Zoom and avoided using the mic at all costs, despite our teachers' constant pleas for interactions. We charged into our rotations with just a handful of hours of advanced clinical skill exposure. And none of us got locked in the psych unit at County in tiny elf scrubs. We took our exams online with our wild setups of iPads stacked on books, being stabilized with whatever we could find around the house, making sure our pets were locked away and families not to make a ruckus. I will say this, as a prominent producer of loud stomach sounds during tests, it was kind of nice to not have to worry about that during exams. During that time, we did lean on our incredibly supportive faculty who have worked tirelessly to provide a challenging and holistic education to our class. The speed at which the faculty flipped from completely in-person to completely online was phenomenal, as to not miss a beat for our education. It has been very apparent to us as a class and how much you care as educators and curators of the next generation, and we can't thank you enough for what you've done for us the last few years. We are sorry for being so quiet during the class. We actually pooled our resources and paid Dorian and Heidi to answer everything, so we wouldn't have to. As we come to the end of our chapter here at USC PA School, I am incredibly excited to see what our class does as we go out and collectively see about 4 million patients just over the next 20 years. The program has shined the light on where the need in healthcare is and has emphasized the impact that our future work will have on this country. The program truly lives and breathes the mission of bringing equity to the underserved and promoting advocacy for correcting the health disparities present here in our backyard in LA and around the country. Dr. LaHenry's example of leadership has been nothing short of awe-inspiring, and the culture set in the hallways classroom permitted learning, curiosity, and inspiration. Now, I wanted to make sure our class had something to take away from this speech, so everyone take notes. There will be a Kahoot, okay? I compiled some of the best nuggets of advice from our faculty that we've picked up over the years that we can apply every day in our practice. First of all, when you see someone with a rare condition, refrain from saying, "Holy snikes," or "Yikes-a-bee." And if you're unsure about a diagnosis, just order a CBC. You probably got a 50-50 shot you're right. That's the right test order. For the record, let's get some pronunciations correct. So first, it's Shanker, not Shankray. Whether you say diabetes or diabetes, that's fine. Just don't say liabetes, especially in front of patients. And finally, don't make your sandwiches too tasty, especially in the ER, because you might have to drop that thing at any moment. With closing, I just want to personally thank my wife, Anna. She's been a strong hold and a pillar of strength for me during this time. I love you. Class of 2022, it was an honor to learn and develop with you. I sincerely wish the best for each and every one of you, as this marks just the beginning of our journeys. Remember that your attitude is your altitude, and it determines your experience. Bringing the best every day and remember the patient. That's why you're here today. Go Army, beat Navy. Happy birthday, Brittany, and fight on. Congratulations, class of 2022.
Thank you, Doug. Okay, at this time, I would like to ask the first row to stand and move into position for the presentation of the graduates. Dr. Carolyn Meltzer, Dean of the Keck School of Medicine, and Dr. Janai Robinson, Department of Family Medicine Chair, will join me to present the graduates with their certificates. Ms. Maria Maldonado will read the names.
Hello. All right, can you hear me in the back? Is it okay back there? All right, got some thumbs up. Okay, I feel like I'm on Zoom. Can you give me a thumbs up? Are you there? All right, this is the part you've all been waiting for. Buenos dias, good morning. Welcome, everyone. And are we ready? Let's do it. Okay. I feel like maybe that's better. All right, let's go. Katrin Albayan. Alexandra Abreu. Ani Agazarian. Camille Amparo. Heidi Amundsen. Alexandra Barbeau. Elaine Baul Highfill. Brittany Campos. Hannah Carvuto. Michelle Casal. Sergio Cuauhtemoc Chavez. Francine Katrina Chen. Ashley Lynn Clark. Lanisha Q. Cole. Anna Darren. Miriam Sabah Darzi. Kersey Fadul. Douglas Gudgeon. Maisie Wong. Jonathan Hoda. Angie Wong. Don Juan Justin M. Stacy Jung. Michael Kang. Dorian Kim. Monica Kushki. Xenia Cruz. Samantha Lugmai. Laura Patricia Lamas Guzman. Emily Cecilia Lara. Michelle Dang Lei. Amy Lopez Rivera. Cindy Ma. Leora Mattion. Emmeline Moritzen. Nicole McCann. Jeffrey Miller. Alicia Moreno. Erin Morel. Candice Nasir. Christina Wynn. Tran Wynn. Angela No. Jocelyn Ochoa. Emmeline Oros. Angélica Parocua. Sabrina Pimentel. Francesca Reinisch. Robbie Robinson. Naya Rodriguez. Rebecca Romero. Emily Sim. Tyson Smith. Argisht Sarturian. Kathy Wong. Spencer Wong. Nicole Yadidi. Judy Yu. Congratulations, graduates of the class of 2022.
Congratulations again, class of 2022. At this time, please join me in welcoming Dr. Chloe Powell to the podium to administer the physician assistant oath.
I'd like to invite the class of 2022 to please rise. And any PAs on stage or in the audience, please join us as we read the PA oath. Okay, please repeat after me. I pledge to perform the following duties with honesty and dedication. I will hold as my primary responsibility the health, safety, welfare, and dignity of all human beings. I will uphold the tenets of patient autonomy, beneficence, non-maleficence, and justice. I will recognize and promote the value of diversity. I will treat equally all persons who seek my care. I will hold in confidence the information shared in the course of practicing medicine. I will assess my personal capabilities and limitations, striving always to improve my medical practice. I will actively seek to expand my knowledge and skills, keeping abreast of advances in medicine. I will work with other members of the healthcare team to provide compassionate and effective care of patients. I will use my knowledge and experience to contribute to an improved community. I will respect my professional relationship with the physician. I will share and expand knowledge within the profession. These duties are pledged with sincerity and upon my honor. You may be seated.
Thank you, Dr. Powell. Once again, please join me in congratulating the graduating class of 2022. On behalf of the faculty and staff of the program, it is my distinct privilege to congratulate you and wish you the very best in your future endeavors. While you have much to accomplish in the coming months and years. You have come a very long way. We are incredibly proud of you and are looking forward to watching you grow in your career and in life. This concludes the satellite ceremony. I would ask the guests to remain seated while the graduates process out. Graduates, please immediately gather on the steps of the Hancock Building for your class picture. I would like to invite the guests to join us for a reception that will immediately follow the ceremony. Thank you, and fight on! Let's wait for the music. There we go. All of a sudden I'm like, wait, yeah, they did that at the You're the best. Thank you so much. I love your pronunciation. The best. You did it!
Dean, it's very nice to meet you. Thank you. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Congratulations on that beautiful ceremony. Nice job.
Thank you, Dr. Meltzer. It's nice to see you again. My pleasure. My pleasure. Do you need anything? No.
Yo, you know where the bathroom is? Sir?
Oh, you don't know that? We haven't met. Hi. Tahan here. These are our cousins. Hi, Ashley. And Doreen, you know Doreen. Everyone's a cousin. I'm Ashley. What are you? Thank you for coming. Oh, his mom, he's not Mister, he's a kid. Okay. Alcohol. Navi, he has 6 months of life in Jordan. I swear to God, he will only wear these that are the best. And his new thing is he has to wear one black sock and one white sock. I used to do that. That's when you got him. All the shoes here. Come, Asher, come. This way. Asher. Joyce says, why don't you wear your new shoes? I'm not gonna do that to you.